And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Okay, so it's the morning after the draw to Dundee. I was about to say defeat because it feels like a freaking defeat. The draw to Dundee last night at Dens Park. And Rangers, of course, find themselves 3 points behind in the Scottish Premiership title race with 5 games to go. And I've already called that the title is over. And whilst I did get a lot off my chest last night, actually a 10-minute video wasn't enough to go through the problems of this team. But today, I'm going to be discussing our manager, talking about our manager. Before you jump the gun or get into the comments and say, back the manager, I do back the manager, and I'm not calling for his head by any means. But I want to discuss and talk about his post-match press conference or his post-match interview, discussing our response. Now, some would say quickly that he's out here. Well, actually, quickly, just to summarize what he said that he was happy with his team's performance. It was the response that was needed after the defeat against Ross County, and just chatting absolute bollocks. Honestly, absolute bollocks. Now, some people will say, Dan, look, you're jumping the gun, you're getting triggered far too easily. Phillipe Clement's obviously a man manager, he's trying to protect his players. There's protecting your players, right? There's protecting your players. I understand that, protecting your players. These players don't need protected, by the way, they're serial losers. But there's protecting these players, like other managers have done in their predecessors. Gio's done the same thing, Michael Beale's done the same thing, trying to protect the players after a poor defeat. And there's treating the fans like absolute freaking mugs. If that's the response, well, as Phillipe Clement said, is that response after the Ross County game? If that is the response that we're due, he is treating the fans and you like absolute mugs. Treating us as absolute mugs, saying that's the response that was needed. You're taking a piss. Again, I understand protecting players, but he's not protecting the players in that way. He needs to call it out. But if he's saying and treating us like fools and stating that is the reaction that he, as a manager, wanted to see from his players, we are in serious freaking trouble. That was not a performance. Go through that interview itself, talking about we dominated, we created loads of chances, and the goalkeeper kept him in the game. We created fuck all. We created absolute hee-haw. We created absolutely nothing in that game. We were crap. And in fact, I would go even far to say, yes, we kept the clean sheet in that game, which was just a bonus. So I think we're celebrating clean sheets now that we've gone up in the world. We managed to keep a clean sheet. We created absolutely nothing. We created nothing. We absolutely did nothing. And to be fair, if it wasn't for Dundee's poor finishing, they probably should have been 2-3-0 up. We invited them in. Our defence was absolutely rank rotten. So, again, I don't like Phillipe Clement's words stating that that's the reaction that he wanted to see. Because, again, it's a fine line of protecting these players. But the other managers, the predecessors, have made that same mistake. Putting cotton wool around these players. They don't need cotton wool. They know what they're doing. They're losers. They don't need cotton wool. It's all nice and warm. Keep us safe. Keep us safe from the press. The Rangers fans are very angry with us. Oh, we bought another title. No, he needs to tell them how it is, and there's going to have to be harsh words said to him. Otherwise, he's going to be going out the door like the rest of the managers after him. And I know we can't do anything in the summer, but there has to be some harsh words. And now, again, look, we've got a big game coming up at the weekend, and whilst I say the title is over, we could still potentially get to Hampden and win a Scottish Cup somehow if we fall over the line. I have no belief that we're going to get a win against Hearts at Hampden. No chance. Absolutely zero chance. Our only way of beating Hearts is if miraculously freaking Hearts have an off day or something like that. They've done pretty well. I can't see us beating Hearts and getting through, playing like that and playing crap. But I'm seriously worried about the gaffer. I'm seriously worried about the manager with his performances, his talking after the game. Because he's treating the fans like absolute fools. How is that a response that that's the response that he wanted to see from his players? Say it how it is. Say it how it is. They were shit. They were crap. They were rubbish. And if that is the response that he wanted to see, I fucking dread to see what was happening at Hampden. I dread to see what's happening at Hampden on Sunday. Genuinely, really, scared to see what's happening at Hampden. And I know he's in a bad position at this moment in time, in terms of, well, he's got to select these players, he's got to select them and play with them. But, you know, he's got a rhythm out of these players before and needs to start not trusting the individuals. Now, look, I'm not a manager, nor do I claim to be, but there's a way in around it, right? Simply, listen. I can already make some changes that could change the shape of this team already. Obviously, Butland stays in goal. Bring Goldson out the firing line. He's mince. He's absolutely mince. Suter and Balogun. Play them two, right? Play them two for one game. Let's just see what happens. Obviously, Tavernier's never going to be dropped. Keep Tavernier there. He's good for attacking play, whatever. And then out on the left, now this is where the problem is because there's so many injuries and there's so many problems. So Dujon Sterling's been playing there. But is there somebody in there? Can we bring back Adam Devine to maybe stop in there? I don't know what the lone reaction is. Can we bring him back there to play as the left back? And now, hear me out. Get Lundstrom out the fucking midfield and stick Dujon Sterling in the midfield. Now, whilst this boy was brought in as a Tavernier replacement and someone to push Tavernier down the line, we found out that he's quite good in midfield. He's probably our better midfield player and he's never played midfield. He learns. He's very, very good at learning the game. He studies the match and he's very, very adaptable. And I think actually he's probably our best midfielder that we've got and play it there. Take Lundstrom out the firing line. He offers absolutely nothing. Put Dujon Sterling in there. Diamande, what the fuck is going on with his thumb? He should be ready to go for Sunday. Stick him in the team as well. And then obviously some could say about Tom Lawrence. Again, I think if Tom Lawrence has a decent midfield in and around him, then he can probably actually play and be all right for us attacking wise. Up top, then you got Seema. Getting to the centre forwards is actually a problem, but I would still stick with Roof. If he gets service, he'll put a ball into the back of the net, unlike Dessers. Now, people can say what they want about Roof and all these kind of things. He didn't get any service, despite Phillipe Clement saying so that he did. And then start Rabbi Matondo out on the left. And then you've got a starting 11 that actually is a lot better. But if you're putting the same fucking faces in every single game, then you've got a problem. As stated, Lundstrom ain't going to win you a league title. He's championship at best. I'm glad that we're starting to see that this muppet can't play because he's holding the club ransom to a contract on his terms. Shit, get him out. Dujon Sterling in the midfield I think will change things for us going forward. I think he's a lot better than the options that we've currently got in this midfield, and changes need to happen pronto. Can't keep playing, can't keep doing the same old tactics and accepting the same old results. It's failed. 5 games now. We've literally lost against Motherwell. We've lost against Ross County. We've drew to Celtic. We've drew to... so we've got... How many points have we got? 5 points in 5 games. That is disastrous. It's horrendous. And Phillipe Clement really needs to recognise that these players aren't his friends. These players aren't his friend. And they need to be given the hard shoulder. Give them the hard shoulder, otherwise he'll be out to the door. Now, lastly, I want to bring up a quote, actually, that was coming from, I think, a Monaco journalist, actually, and stated, this back all the way when Clement got the job. He said, Clement had one outstanding period at the end of his first season at Monaco. Played some exciting football, but team selection was questionable at times. Notably failed to rally his side after key losses, which became decisively poor spells. He can't afford the same at Rangers. That tweet comes on the 15th of October 2023 after his time at Monaco. We are going through that stage, so we need to see what Phillipe Clement is made of. If he's got experience from his time as being a manager at Monaco, if he's learnt something from being at Monaco, then he needs to get out and rally his players. He needs to try and sort this mess out and drop players that are failing him every time. We can't do anything until the summer, but if he's a serious Rangers manager, he needs to get rid of the core group of losers in the summer transfer window, but we'll speak about that another time. Phillipe Clement, again, he's the man for me. Just before anyone starts jumping the gun, I do think he's the man to bring up. I really do like him, and I want him to do well at this football club, but his choice of words after that post-match press conference yesterday just makes the fans look like absolute fools if he thinks that's a response, because it's absolutely not. But Rangers fans, that's all I've already got for you today. Do let me know your thoughts on the game yesterday. Let me know your thoughts on Phillipe Clement's words, and what changes would you like to see in the game against Hearts this weekend. Let me know down in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.